Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dora, the Fluid Crafter, and before we begin, I just want to say that if you are under the age of 16, please stop watching my video. This video is not intended for children or for kids under the age of 16. I have to say that at the beginning of every video, so I apologize, but okay, now that that's out of the way, I was sent a message and asked what exactly do I do when I donate a journal. Well, that just depends on what the need is. Some needs are different. I'm not sure if you guys seen, this was a while back. I've deleted some of my videos off of YouTube that could have been considered child content, or influence towards children or whatever. So I have taken those off, and one of them was the cancer journal that I did. So I'm not sure if the second one is still on there or not. I'll have to go back and check. But anyways, so I do have pictures up on my Instagram and my Facebook. I make and donate journals to our cancer center where my mom goes. And the way that I do that is I just make just regular size, like either a 6x6 or an 8x6 journal. And I make the pages to where they can come out and, put new ones in. So that way they can actually keep the journal for as long as possible. And then they can take the pages that were written in and things like that and actually put them into kind of like a binder type thing, to where people can look at them and get inspired or read messages that other patients have left, for someone that might be new to the chemo thing, or that could be terminal. So that's how I do that one. Now, that's how I tend to do things that go to centers or to senior homes or things like that, because then everyone has a chance to write into it. Now, if it's a personal journal, you have to be nominated for that. In other words, I'll just use this for an example. A friend of mine who has bought journals for me in the past, custom orders. I won't mention any names, only because I'm just not that type of person. I won't put anyone on the spot like that, especially when it's a family member of theirs. Had reached out to me and was telling me that how much she liked the Christmas journal I made, and if she had the money, she would purchase it. However, her daughter has recently come back to live with her, and she is a recovering addict. I know what that's like, because I was an addict. I'm not afraid to say it. I used to be afraid to tell people, but you know what? It is what it is. I have been clean for 19 years, and I'm proud of that, And so what happens is, she asked me if I would be kind enough to donate one of my journals to her, to help her to focus her attention on something else, to help her write it out, draw. She does mixed media, all this kind of stuff. So it was wonderful, right up my alley too. So I was like, of course, absolutely. So if you know someone who is struggling with something, maybe has an illness, or can't, even someone who can't afford a journal, but they love to write, they love to draw, they love to do things like that, or if there's a child that is in a home that they don't have a lot of money and things of that nature, you can nominate them, and what they'll get is a free journal from me. If you do nominate someone, the only thing I ask is to help out a little bit with the shipping. Everything else is free of charge. And when I make the donated journals, they are just like the ones I would make if I sold it. Actually, they're probably a little more in there than the ones that I sell, and because I want it to be with them for a long time. You know, it's not, um, I can't donate to the same person every single month, if that makes sense, because there is a waiting list. I tend to take about 3 weeks to make one, and so that's why there's a waiting list. So if you wanted to nominate someone, then you would just simply send me a message, and then I would ask a few questions, and we could go from there. Everything is communicated, everything is done. You know what I mean? There's nothing left to chance. So for this one, I am doing something totally different. I am actually making one out of a binder. This is just an Amazon binder that I had bought when, because I homeschool, so I have tons of them that I'm not using right now. My boys are teenagers, so uh, they're not, using binders anymore or anything like that. It's spiral notebooks or loose leaf paper or inside the book as it is. So, but I kind of wanted to show you guys what I was working on for this. Now, she's told me that she loves sunflowers. It reminds her of her aunt who had recently passed away, which can also be hard with someone who is struggling with an addiction, because emotions and things like that can cause you to want to go and revert back. So she said that sunflowers, she does mixed media, she loves green, botanical, not really girly, more grungy than girly, but she does like some things that are pretty. So I wanted to give her something that she can really work in. Now, this is not completed. I'm going to cover the whole front and the back and the spine. I'm going to embellish the pages. I'm going to do all that stuff. Only thing I did today was just get the papers in here that I wanted to use. So I wanted to kind of show you here a little bit of what's happening so far. These here digis are from my good friend at Dot Studio Designs, and she has graciously donated the sunflower kit that she has for this purpose. And just let me say, this sunflower kit is absolutely stunning, just beautiful. So there's some pretty pages, but then there's also some grungy pages, which is what I like so much. So she gets the mixture, and this one here I thought was beautiful because she likes sunflowers because they remind her of her aunt. And so I thought, how cool is that there is a lady in a bed of sunflowers? Isn't that just marvelous? So I thought that would go well. And so I'm going to scooch over as much best I can here. And so what I plan to do, now I'm going to trim these edges off. I just kind of put them in here for a time. So the first part of this says Les Journaux. So that way it'll be, the journal. So that'll be the front little page here. She likes mixed media and things like that, collaging. So these here are from Antique Paperie. And so I wanted to add these in here with a little splash of different colors. She loves turquoise. So I'm putting these in here. And then another one of the sunflowers, kind of like a little divider or, something different. These here are just regular scrapbook papers, and so I wanted to just kind of, put some different aspects in here. This is an envelope. Like I said, I'm just getting it together. So some black and white. It says she does mixed media, and she's an artist and stuff. These here, she can take them out. She could put different ones in. She can rip pieces off of it and use it for something else. Totally up to her what she wants to do with them. Now I will embellish some of them and design some of them and kind of, do something along that lines. But for now, this is what we're working with. So my idea, I guess, would be, and these aren't even in the right order either, is, you know, when you look at the pages, some people, when they see it, they just see the colors and then the collage. I guess because I write poetry, I look at pages differently. Like, when I see this, I see, um, uh, confusion. Um, Not bad confusion, I guess. Let me rephrase that. Not bad confusion, but like, you know how sometimes in life, you know, we get confused, or we get irritated, or we get, you know, and sometimes our life looks like a bunch of splatters on a page. You know what I mean? So to someone who is struggling, you know, sometimes pages like this stand out to them and speak to them. And so that was kind of my idea here, along with adding in elements that are calming and soothing and, you know, just different aspects of life in general. And some of the pages are different sizes. Some are thick cardstock, some are thin. I love this page so much. This is one of my favorite ones. I think this is the last piece that I have of it. I might go buy this paper pad again. It just reminds me of floating, the rainbow. It just reminds me of flying away. You know, it's just so beautiful, and it's got watercolor splashes in the background, and it just really makes me happy when I look at it. Okay, so then in the back here these here are watercolor pages. They're textured pages. You probably can't see the texture on them, but some of them are really rough textured. Then there's some spotted texture ones. And then of course I have to add in some of my really grungy tea stained papers. And this one here has a spot of color on it, if you can see that. So I just took a paintbrush and splashed some colors all over it. And then in the back here, I'm going to also do maybe some big journaling cards and a little pocket holder and whatnot. And since she's not, you know, a fluffy girly, I'm going to have to ask her mom if she likes laces and things like that, because I don't want to put anything in here or on it that, you know, she probably wouldn't like, or she wouldn't say she didn't like it, but might just not be her thing. So that is kind of where I am, and I just kind of wanted to stop a minute and explain, you know, what this process is. This one, you know, she can use for a long time. You know, she can write in it, she can journal in it, she can add to it, take away, and it would be perfect for her for a long time. And hopefully it will help her get through her recovery process. You know, so if there is someone that you know that may be struggling with something, maybe has been diagnosed with cancer or an illness or is terminal, or you know an artist or someone who has fallen on hard times, or a child, or someone that you think may benefit from a donated journal, don't be afraid to send me a message or an email. My contact information will be down in the description box below, and maybe we can work something out. Okay? Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I know this is a late video, but only chance I had today to do one, so I hope you guys are blessed. Stay crafty and think outside your box. Okay, bye-bye now.